You see my
Yeah.
hand?
You
Okay.
believed that, Sapphire?
Yes, if, with the disclaimer, if Stefanski would just get his play calling together. How many times have I said across this season, he's like a Madden player. He just wants to call his plays. He has no consideration for the specific talent we have on the field. Yes, it's not complicated, people.
He
Yeah.
called a heck of a game yesterday, though.
Yes, he did.
But I mean, when it's 3rd and 10, why are you calling a play for a 5-yard pass? What's the
I
point of
think
that?
he might. Well, at that point of the game, Rachel, and let me ask this because I didn't watch the game in its entirety like you guys did.
Mhm.
But at that point when it was 3rd and 10, where were they on the field? What quarter was it in? And how much time was left on the clock?
Right, right,
I mean, this
Willie,
happens throughout
right.
the game, though.
Well,
The
I mean,
games that this happens throughout games. Because this
but
just
in
isn't the first one.
in this particular situation though, because I don't mind it being if it's 3rd and 10 and it's the fourth quarter and you're in your own territory and your defense has been playing the way that it has been playing, and you are really just playing field position to get Jacksonville maybe inside their own 20, and there's less than 10 minutes or less than 5 minutes left to go in the game. I don't have no issue with that. I don't have no issue with that. Or the same situation if it's going into halftime and you have the lead and you get the ball back first in the second half, I wouldn't have any issue with that. Now, if you're talking about between the dashes or between the dates, like on a headstone where it says born here and then laid to rest here, and we're talking about the dashes in the middle, what happened between the two dates. So we're talking about between, the second, third, in the second and third quarter during the highlight of the high time of the game during those portions. And if he's doing that, then that's a little bit to be desired. But I think it's situational like everything else. And if any of those situations that I described and they did that, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Okay, for me, that was on the second and third drives. Once again, just like we did last week, we had a very nice balanced run, pass, drive. That first drive, we scored, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Stefanski seemingly had a flare up on the second and third drive. So I'm down with
Like
Rachel.
a hemorrhoid.
Yes, straight up. Okay. I'm
What
down
you
with
saying? What
Rachel.
he
Like,
saying?
what?
He's saying he's a pain in the butt.
Well,
Yeah, he gets my goat a lot.
you
Oh,
know
your
what I'm
goat.
saying?
Okay.
But those offensive like possessions were doomed to fail after the first down. Like it's like he went completely off of the proven script that got us 7 points in what, 6 plays, about 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, 6 plays.
Like an alien came from outer space and snatched him. It was like, wait a minute, don't do that because it's successful. Those are the situations that I would agree with Rachel are happening that give me as a Browns fan a lot of, I can't even say the words because we're on a family show.
Text it to us.
I'm gonna do
Well,
it
you
right now.
guys, we got to go ahead and take a break. So we're going to be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Coming to the House of Love December 13th. Worship Live Holiday Tour, Praise Party Edition. Fred Hammond, James Fortune, and Vashawn Mitchell. Live on one stage. Fred Hammond. James Fortune. James Fortune.
Who won that game last night with the Eagles and the Cowboys?
December 13th at the House of Blues. Fred Hammond, James Fortune, Vashawn Mitchell, the Worship Live Holiday Tour.
This message is being brought to you by WOVU 95.9, our voice
voices united. A Burton Bell Car community radio station.
Ohio, a new choice for Medicaid is here. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, a name you can trust because we're the plan that plans on everything from 3 a.m. fevers to life-saving medicines. So choose Anthem for your Medicaid plan. Visit anthemohio.com today.
This was brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Insurance and WOPU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Car Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And keep in mind, you can always keep it locked right here on your regular radio dial at 95.9 FM. You can download that WOVU app so you can take us on the go. You can also listen online at WOVU.org. And you can always contact the station at 216-271-0959. And I'm here with Sapphire and Willie today, and we're talking about some Cleveland Browns. But one of the things I want to get into, you guys, is talk about this offense yesterday. Right now, you know, Joe Flacco has this offense clicking, and he's only been here for all of 2 weeks. So I'm pleasantly surprised because I was against them bringing them in. But I gave props for them bringing him in because obviously, you know, they did their scouting of him and thought that, you know, he was in shape enough and had enough, you know, left in the tank to come and play quarterback. But, you know, offensively, you know, he threw the ball a lot. I think almost over 40 times he threw the ball. I'm trying to look at the stats right now.
26 to 45.
Yeah, 26 to 45. So 45 throws is a lot of throws. But, you know, he only threw for one interception. Trevor Lawrence threw for 3. So, you know, I commend him on that. He threw for 311 yards. I don't think any of our quarterbacks have had a 300-yard game so far this year. Deshaun Watson did not have a 300-yard game. But, you know, he had a special connection yesterday with David and Njoku. So that was nice to see, you know, hit him. You know, he was left wide open for some reason, and, you know, he hit him in stride. You know, also David Bell had a great touchdown too. You know, he saw that, you know, his defender dropped down, and I don't know why Kevin Stefanski doesn't play David Bell a lot more than what he does. But, you know, I said yesterday is that when you get in, you got to make everything count. And that's what he did. So, you know, I like that offensive game plan. Also, you know, when it came to running the ball was very effective. It took a little while for the running game to get going, but running the ball became very effective. You know, when Kareem Hunt had to get that 4th and 1, you know, he leapt over everybody, and there was a little bit of concern because he hit his head. So he was a little stunned when he first got up, and you saw all the grass in his helmet. But I want to say offensively, you know, they played a pretty pure game. It was just the turnovers that killed us. So when you think about it, you know, obviously these things break up drives, gives the other team better field position and things of that nature. So I like the game that they played offensively. I guess if you want to say in quotation marks, Kevin Stefanski called a great game, I guess you can say that. But I still, you know, have a lot to desire with his play calling.
Lady,
I totally agree with everything you said, Rachel. I really do. And Willie, we're living by the sword, meaning the passing game, and we are certainly going to die by it. We always know Murphy's Law, sooner or later will catch up. If that's where we're living, a very one-dimensional type look as the rest of these games go by, we know our competitors are going to become reacquainted with Flacco, his style, Stefanski's play calling. I just can only hope at this so deep in the system that, you know, hopefully what Myles Garrett said after the game about the officiating won't come back on us too bad.
Oh, it's going to come back on Myles. He's going to get fined.
Well, I'm talking about on the field. Look, Myles can afford to fine, right?
But he knew what he was doing.
Yes, he did. He is brilliant. So to me, it's going to be the intersection of those things. I've learned to just enjoy this moment because we were close to going like with the 3rd straight loss. And I just feel very strongly. I don't know if it was Flacco. I don't know if it was the GM. I don't know if it was Gary Kubiak. There was something very distinctly different in Stefanski's play calling for Joe Flacco that really they married well together.
Hey, Hamo. Hey, Joyce. Appreciate you listening, your support. Joyce is saying that, she's listening. We're having a great convo so far. The play calling was sorely needed. Feels good. And Hamo says 100%. So thank you, Hamo. We appreciate you.
Yes,
Ammo.
Joyce. Yes, ma'am. I love seeing Joyce's comments.
Absolutely.
So here's my thing, or one of my things. And I was flipping back and forth between y'all's game and the Ravens and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, wow, the Rams are really, really about to do this. But then, John Harbaugh and his special teams prowess, and a kid that had never returned a punt a day in his life in the NFL, sparingly even uses a wide receiver. And then Odell Beckham Jr. got loose,
Oh, yes.
I don't know about this Ravens defense anymore. I mean, they were talking about how they were one of the better defenses in the AFC, but they've allowed a lot of points these last few weeks, and y'all don't have them again this season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
No, we split the season series with them. But to be fair, they got a chance to play against DTR, and he just found out he was starting 10 minutes before the game. So we don't really count that, as a loss.
Well, you need to count it as a loss because it's a loss.
Well, we do, but it's not a loss.
Yeah, what is it then? Hold on, wait a minute. What is it then if it's not a loss? Oh, it's not a loss, but it's just a loss. Okay.
It don't really count because of the circumstances,
What do you mean it doesn't count? It counts.
Because what happened with DTR?
So because it's the fourth quarterback that you guys have trotted out there, then all these games with Flacco aren't really wins. They're a win, but they're not really wins.
Yeah, they are wins. But the thing is, that's
your logic
was going to happen. We were going to get slaughtered. And that's kind of what happened. Given the circumstances that he had, usually Baltimore comes in here and does what they do. But I don't think it's fair because you had a first year, quarterback who was drafted in the 5th round and, became starter 10 minutes before the game.
Dude, who's really concerned about what's
how are you?
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about right there. Because I'm
What'd you say, Sapphire?
Hey, Mickey, how are you? And I was saying that's where I'm going to agree with both of you. See, in that moment, even going back to DTR, Kevin Stefanski did not appear to. Excuse me?
I said you're supposed to agree with
me. I am. No, I totally am. I'm just saying. That's again where I go back to Stefanski didn't seem to adjust, customize, tailor that play calling for Dorian. This is exactly the point I'm trying to make. The difference I see between that Stefanski and the Stefanski I saw call plays on yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't break down the game and make it simple for DTR in that first start. He didn't do anything to get him going. He didn't do no screens, no short pass game or anything like that. So he just threw him out there to the wolves. And I don't know if they really game planned for him as well. They didn't. And I don't think he took first team reps maybe all week and stuff like that, So I just think that was a setup for failure. So that's why I really don't count that game as a loss.
Well, you're the only one in America that doesn't count as a loss. And really, whether you count it as a loss or not, it doesn't matter because I'm looking at these things. You may have heard of them. They're called standings. And under
records and stats.
Yeah. And besides Cleveland's team name or besides the city of Cleveland, the name of the city, it says 8-5. It does not say 8-5, but I don't really think 5 is there because Rachel said so. It doesn't say that. So I see. We always You always, Rachel, say something that's so off the wall that it derails my original thought. And now I'm like, yo, I got to go back and attack her on this because she's smoking crack.
Well,
Oh,
Willie
Lord.
said, well, not Willie, but Mickey said he agrees with you. He said, back that train up, Rachel. It's a loss. Stop being a homer, and it is a loss. So Mickey agrees with you, Willie.
Well, anybody that doesn't agree with me, y'all need to be on the same. Y'all need to be in the same drug rehab program.
And Ricky says, wah. Division loss is a division loss, Rachel. Everybody getting on me now.
Did you hear yourself?
Yeah, I heard myself.
But speaking of loss, like, listen, this breaking news about DeJuan Jones,
I'm
right?
so sad. That's sad.
He's out
Like,
for the year.
Yeah, what do you think that portends for us, the offensive line, for the rest of the season?
That's the kid from Ohio State, right?
Yes, 6'8", 370 pounds.
And he took the place of what's his name?
Conklin.
Conklin,
What'd you
yeah.
say, Sapphire?
Yeah,
Jack Conklin. Yeah, who we lost. We lost Jack Conklin in the first game, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, these injuries have killed us. But I appreciate the Browns' resilience and the next man up, filling in for that person. But yeah, that's a huge loss to DeJuan Jones because they said, he was like possibly could have been all pro this season, and, one of the masterful jobs that he took was effectively eliminating TJ Watt during that Pittsburgh game. And you only heard TJ Watt's name one time in that game.
So let me ask you this. Like, as you saw on text yesterday, I was calling for Nick Harris to play both the center and fullback position. But
At the same
what?
time?
Okay, yes. Hike the ball, then go back and play fullback. Like, I just wanted them to keep Flacco protected, which I think they did a relatively good job of, except for like that one play we talked about. But so what are we looking like at that position for the rest of the season? Because I haven't heard anything about Pochek either.
Was he hurt in the game?
Pochek will be questionable for week 15. You guys are going to bring up, looks like it's going to be James Hudson III.
This number 66, right?
I don't know what number he is.
Yeah, I think so. It's either 66 or 64.
He had a few offensive calls yesterday against him, a few false starts. So that is not a good thing. You need him to be in tune with the offense. But, do you look at it because he hasn't been starting long, but, some of those things are drive killers as well. So he had a few false starts yesterday.
Well, also, you might want to look at if he's going to be playing the right guard spot. Let's dissect not the Bears. Let's dissect the Browns and who's up next that will be rushing the passer from that side.
Okay.
You have the Jets that can get after the quarterback. You have Hutchinson for the Bengals who can get after the quarterback, and the Texans with Will Anderson who can get after the quarterback. So those are some matchups that Browns fans need to be kind of keying in on. I don't really know what the Bears have, although they did beat Detroit yesterday. And
yeah,
look, the Bears have been playing some decent football over the last 2 or 3 games. It's just a shame. Justin Fields. I mean, I'm clamoring that the Raiders trade for him for real. But anyway, so that's going to be an issue.
I ain't never scared. You
just don't count all losses.
That was good.
And Mickey Delaney said that I am smoking something that just got legalized in Ohio on the 7th. Yes.
So if it's legalized, then you can say it then, right?
No, I prefer not to. This is a family-friendly station.
There you go.
I'm not advertising. I'm not advocating for anything.
Well,
but that was Mickey's.
It ain't illegal to say it. It's definitely illegal to say it.
when I was talking about the Browns, not counting that loss. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not really scared of the Bears. They don't really have anything around Justin Fields. So, sometimes, the sun shines on the dog's rear end every once in a while. So, I'm not really scared. The last time we had him here, we sacked him 9 times, and we ain't been to Soldier Field in a minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, I realized that was 2 years ago, and it might have been his second year or whatever in the league.
He
But
was a rookie.
huh?
He was a rookie.
Yeah, okay, he was a rookie. So I knew he was very young in his career when that happened, but I'm not really worried about the Chicago Bears or anything like that. So I think it'll be a good play game if the Chicago Bears are on the upturn. But I think this team is serious about making the playoffs, so I think that they are going to bring it. I'm kind of not really worried about any other games as well. I think that this team realizes that they're on a mission. I definitely think that they can beat the Jets. I think that they can beat the Bears. Who else do we have left?
Bengals and
Bengals
Texans.
and Texans.
Yeah, Texas game might be kind of hard because we haven't performed really well out west. So I think that game might be kind of hard. I know that the Texans lost yesterday too, but I'm not scared, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic or anything like that, but I'm not really scared of the teams that we're going to be playing from here on out. I figure if the Browns can get to 11 wins, so if they can take 2 out of the next 4, I think we'll be okay. We'll make the playoffs.
Well, you don't have to really worry about it being out west because Houston is south of you. And it's only 1 hour behind.
Yeah, but
Houston
it's
is like,
still kind of southwest.
nope. I ain't gonna let you have that. No, it's south.
You just gonna fight me all day, ain't you?
This is the geography lesson portion of her in the huddle.
There you go. And what about Willie? What about CJ Stroud's head injury? Do you have an update on that? I think they put him in concussion protocol, right?
He's in concussion protocol is all I know at this point. I think the Texans that game that they lost to the Jets yesterday, that one may come back to haunt them. That one may come back to haunt them. And it's not like they were even playing well while he was in the game. I mean, New York was really dominating that team, and Zach Wilson had a day yesterday. He really did.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He was like 28 of 34.
Yeah.
No turnovers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he did his thing. But the thing is that, I mean, they beat him. That's the first time the Jets have I don't think they scored 30 points in a game since like last year. Yeah, he was 27 of 36 for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles lost. Garrett Wilson went off, Brees Hall goes off. I think for the Texans, I mean, like I said, I think that game is going to come back to haunt them because with the potential tiebreaker, and they're going to have to win the division to get in. They're not going to be able to be a wild card in my opinion.
Yeah.
And their schedule for the rest of the year is kind of favorable to them as well, with the exception of maybe being at the Colts. They got at the Titans, and then they played the Titans again. They got the Browns surrounded by 2 Titans games, and then they finished at the Colts. So the Titans game, if CJ Stroud is not able to come back, their backup, I believe, is still Davis Mills. They lost Nico Collins out. I think he's out for the year. They're gonna have to really lean on their running game and that defensive front that can get after the passer in order for them to be able to make a run at the division, because that's what it's gonna take for them to get into the playoffs.
Well, listen, talk about.
We got to take a break right quick. Ricky Smith, and hold on to that thought, Sapphire. Ricky Smith said, "Look out, the Browns fans. Flacco ain't exactly mobile enough to escape pass rushers in upcoming games, and he has been better than your gazillionaire QB."
Ooh, little haterism there, Ricky.
I mean, I can't say it's kind of true. Right now, is might kind of be a little on the true side. And then Mickey said, "Yes, I am scared, Rach," after I said I wasn't scared of anybody. But we're gonna take a break right quick. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We are going to be right back.
What's happening, Cleveland? This is Detective Felton calling. I am the lead public safety recruiter for the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Safety. Interested in a job with fantastic pay and benefits? How about a change from day-to-day office life? Look no further because Cleveland's Division of Police is now accepting applications for police officers. Why not enter the exciting field of law enforcement? We are constantly changing and progressing for the benefit of our communities. The Division of Police offers up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus. The academy pay is almost $25 per hour, and there's also tuition reimbursement for those who have completed the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. Plus, if you are a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces and or hold a college degree, you can receive additional salary incentives. Call 216-623-5233 to speak with our recruiters or go to clevelandohio.gov/jobs and apply today. Join our team.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, First Lady of Sports. One of the things I wanted to talk about, obviously, is the defense. Yesterday, how that defense stepped up and were able to handle some things. And it looks like Joyce has a comment. She says, may I say how refreshing it is to hear you ladies discussing the Browns and other sports with so much knowledge, research to back it up. No offense to Willie. He compliments this trio. So, hey, Willie.
Oh, thank you, Joyce. Thank you. We're so happy to have you here with us every time, too. Wow. She's such a kind soul.
And thank you for loving Willie as well. We appreciate you so much. And we, enjoy having you comment and things like that and you watching. So one of the things that, talking about this defense yesterday, this defense absolutely stepped up. And, Greg Newsome Jr. having his first interception, Martin Emerson the third. So one of the issues I had, and we put this in our text group as well, is that Martin Emerson does not turn around and look for the ball whatsoever. He's playing the receiver to see what the receiver does, but he is so close to getting pass interference penalties. So that's one of the things that comes with him doing that. Yesterday he was able to play effectively, get an interception, and they weren't really able to get to Trevor Lawrence that much. I don't know how much the ankle bothered him, but he's kind of a very mobile quarterback as well. He's not scared to take off and run. There was one time they almost got a sack, but he was elusive. He stepped up, out of the pocket and was able to, keep going. He's very elusive as well. But, one of the things is the defense, did give up, over 20 points as well, 28 points. So it was 28-31, right?
Yes, that's what I
28-31. So, they got a lot of points, but they gave up points too. But, the defensive effort yesterday, it looks like the defense was back. We thought Denzel was going to play. Denzel didn't play. So you didn't have him, but your corners did an effective job and they were able to have 3 picks off of Trevor Lawrence, which I don't know is something that, happens too often off of him. But Sapphire, what did you think about the defensive output yesterday?
I mean, so first 27-31. And
okay, thank you.
Yes, I mean, I thought the defense played like it was a home game. And despite all of the no calls, like, I don't want to be inappropriate here, but those men got molested yesterday. The referees, Rachel, Willie, you and I could have gone down on the field and made that $20,000 not calling plays the way that penalties, the way that these referees did. So yes, I was especially impressed by the secondary. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we have 2 rookies in there or backup players in there at one point that still I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, we're completely vulnerable in our secondary. So hands down, I was very impressed with the D play, very impressed. Miles figured it out despite the referees, and the one sack he got is the one that we needed to really put the period on the end of the sentence. So he's just, to me, he is Mr. Cleveland Browns. He personifies everything that I think our culture and team represents here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Stand up, Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, I just think sometimes, him, I guess we can call him a Clevelander or whatever, but I just think it's funny when he begged Jerry Jones to draft him. back, when he was going to the league, and he just begged them
Mhm.
to drop him and draft him. And it's just like, the Cowboys ain't had much more success than us, so I'm just like, okay with it. But sometimes it just makes me giggle a little bit how he did not want to come here, and now he's Mr. Cleveland, since you said that.
Yeah, he's bought into it, hook, line, and sinker, and who knows, that could be a motivation for him. I mean, if you look at those plays, I stopped counting like 10, the number of flags I would have thrown for holding just on Myles Garrett,
Hmm.
right? He talked about that in his press conference, and I really think he challenged the league. Let's stop the foolishness. We're about to move into playoff era football. We don't need this to be a part of the conversation. We need to leave it on the gridiron. Like, what do you think, Willie?
Well, let me say this about Miles. Rachel, you need to stop hating for real.
I'm
You
not
need
hating. What you talking
you
about?
need you need to stop bringing up the old. You need to stop bringing up old stuff, okay? Because right now, if Myles Garrett were not there, we probably wouldn't even be doing this show. I ain't lying.
I
Look at the look on
mean,
Rachel's face. Look at the look on Rachel's face, y'all.
I mean,
What if Myles Garrett was in a Cowboys uniform right now?
yes
You
and
wouldn't be
no.
doing no show. Where
He
DJ
still
Chris
would.
Styles
There's
at?
other people to talk about other than him.
Where Chris Styles at?
Chris Styles is in his office doing his thing.
Oh,
Lord have
okay.
He
mercy.
gave you a thumbs up.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think about it, on occasion. I just think it's just kind of funny to me. I don't, he bought part of the Cleveland Cavaliers, right, Willie?
Mhm.
Had no
Yeah,
idea.
he bought a share in the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's why I'm just saying, it's just a little funny to me that, he's all in on Cleveland now, when at first he didn't want to. Mickey said Browns fans only know how to count to 10. Mickey, what is up with you? Why are you going in on us today, Mickey? What's up
Hey,
with that?
Mickey.
That must be an inside joke. Is that an inside joke?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Mickey's
Oh.
just blowing some steam off, I guess. He
Mhm.
targeting us today. But at the end of the day, this defense was very stout, and obviously the goal of the game is to score more points than the other team, and that's what they did. They held it down because Jacksonville is a very good team, and normally, that offense is very potent, but they were able to slow them down. Obviously the home field advantage, was cooking and stuff like that, but they were able to slow this team down. They were able to slow Trevor Lawrence down, and judging by the way he performed, I couldn't tell that his ankle was bothering him at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. And Etienne was really, God bless you. Etienne was really not a factor as much as I thought he would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like our line, there's just something different, I think, about playing at home and defending your home field, right? The defense was back to playing like inspired. As it relates to Trevor Lawrence, I thought I could see a difference. His passes
Mhm.
were off, they floated a little bit more, and he didn't seem to have the quickness in his step, right, Willie?
Yeah, and 100% agree. And I think Doug tried to call some plays for him that would not put his ankle in harm's way. But some of those throws were just completely off and they were un-Trevor Lawrence like for real.
Mhm.
Even the interceptions. I mean, but I want to go back to what you said about their running game. Their running game has been absent for like the last 6 weeks. Their offensive line, you talk about injuries on the offensive line. Their starting left side, I think, has been out for a good majority of the year. So Travis doesn't have anybody blocking for him. I mean, if you look at the runs that I've seen him make, he runs very violently. Violently, yeah. He runs very violently, and he's getting a lot of those yards on his own. Those 3.5 yards per tote. That's really all him. I mean, now we know how explosive of a player he is, both receiving and as a running the ball and as a receiver out of the backfield. But man, do you know how much wear and tear you're going to accumulate when your blocking is below standard and you're
Absolutely.
fighting for your life just to get 3.5 yards per carry?
Absolutely.
I think it was just, at a detriment to have him out there. I think that they should have gave him one more week to rest up and rest that ankle. But, they went ahead and put him out there. So it is what it is. You live by your QB, you die by your QB. So you guys, we're going to take another break, our final break. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You already know what it is. Yo, listen, every time the Cleveland Browns win, make them know your name foundation will donate an AED to a community organization. Denzel Ward, Nicole Ward, and Make Them Know Your Name Foundation, they are donating an AED, automated external defibrillators to WOVU 95.9 FM, allowing us to service our community. Automated external defibrillator is a medical device designed to analyze the heart rhythm and deliver an electric shock to victims of sudden cardiac arrest to restore the heart rhythm to normal. WOVU 95.9 FM would like to thank Denzel Ward, Nicole Ward, Make Them Know Your Name Foundation, and the Cleveland Browns for choosing us to help better serve our community. This message is brought to you by Make Them Know Your Name Foundation and WOVU 95.9 FM. Our voices united, a Burtonville Car community radio station.
Ohio, a new choice for Medicaid is here. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the name you can trust because we're the plan that plans on everything from 3 a.m. fevers to life-saving medicines. So choose Anthem for your Medicaid plan. Visit anthemohio.com today.
This was brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield Insurance and WOEU 95.9 FM. Our voices united. Burton Bell Car Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. And one of the things before we move on to basketball and a little bit of baseball, I wanted to talk about was special teams yesterday. Corey Bojorquez was the man yesterday. This dude had over a 65-yard punt. And that one punt where the guy from Jacksonville, I can't remember the player's name, had to keep backing up to receive it. I was like, oh my God. So he played a heck of a game. I think I can't remember how many consecutive games it was and where he had punts like over 55 yards and stuff like that. But, he played the game of perfect field position and had the Jacksonville Jaguars backed up a lot in this game. So just special shout out to him. If anything, he should win Special Teams Player of the Week, AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, because
Punters don't win that award.
Huh?
Punters don't win that award.
Well, they should. He should.
Homer.
Really, punters don't win that award?
No, punters don't
like
win that
never?
award. I ain't never seen one win it.
He should be the first one in.
Okay. You gonna
because his performance yesterday was masterful.
You gonna pick him over the dude that returned the punt that ended the game?
Yeah.
Homerism is real.
I can't remember the last time. I mean, maybe Rick Roby, Willie, like 75-yard punt. Like this man's leg is like they should enshrine it in gold. Like that kick, Rachel, everybody where I was at, mouths dropped open, and we're all like, did he just kick a 75-yard field goal? Incredible. I hope the Browns take care of him in the offseason on his contract.
Mm-hmm. And he was Green Bay's throwaway. Remember, he used to punt for Green Bay, and they weren't enamored anymore and got rid of him. And one man's treasure, or one team's trash is another team's treasure. So that was his performance yesterday was masterful, if you can describe it in any other way. And
then you had Dustin with the 55-yarder. Like, I mean. I'm so Browns.
Willie, like this close to getting in too. I was Willie, like, oh my God.
I can articulate the feeling watching us have a successful kicking, like punter and field goal kicker. I just, it may seem very normal to you, and I'm sorry I have PTSD right now, but I just can't get over the fact that in this season, the Browns have addressed multiple consecutive decades-long issues with their kicking game. It's such a wonderful feeling, Willie.
Mm-hmm.
It's refreshing.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
All right, so let's get into it. We got some NBA action going on. So today, the Cleveland Cavaliers will face Orlando excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. They will face Orlando in Orlando tonight. So they had a pretty big win against Orlando. It might have been last week when they were here in Cleveland.
Wednesday.
Thank you. So, that'll be a big game for them as they look to continue to gain ground in the Eastern Conference and, continue to rise up. Nobody really has a great record except for Boston, who they face back-to-back in Boston later on this week. So, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially when they get to Boston, because last season they were 3-1 against Boston. So they held the series edge, and then also they had to beat them. They beat them 2 games in overtime. So, hats off to the Cleveland Cavaliers and see what they're able to do on this 4-game road trip. So they already beat the Miami Heat on Friday night, which was a really good game. On what was that night? Was it Friday night too?
Saturday when the Lakers
Saturday
won the cup.
Yes, when the Lakers won this stupid in-season tournament. So the Lakers won that. I think it was fixed a little bit for the Lakers to be able to win that. Mickey says, but do you remember the Browns lost to the Hawks? Oh, Seattle. Stop bringing up old stuff, Mickey. Willie, what's wrong with you? Why you got your head in your hands? Because I said it was fixed. Because they wanted the Lakers win.
Dude, I want the Lakers to win.
No, I meant the NBA wanted the Lakers to win the inaugural one or something like that.
I mean, I don't know about that being fixed. I mean, and I don't know. I really don't know how stupid it is because them players got 500 bands apiece.
Oh, there you go. Preach it.
Well, LeBron said it was for the players that don't make no money. I'm sure he's okay. Him and the eyebrow are okay with
unibrow. Rachel, Willie, stop. Come on now.
Why are you mad, son? Why are you mad?
I ain't mad. I'm just saying, the NBA be thick sometimes. So,
I don't know nothing.
What?
I don't know nothing.
Well, let's just say, you know who's going to be paying fines tomorrow? Not tomorrow, but Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as well, because they talked about the officiating. So the NFL is going to be handling now 3 fines. But let's get back to basketball or whatever. I didn't care for the in-season tournament. I thought it was kind of dumb because at the end of the day, don't you play an in-season tournament already to get to the playoffs? I didn't understand the concept. Every game means something.
From a I guess I would say I'm certain it generated more viewership, which means more revenue. I think maybe from the league's perspective, it got more ratings. I mean, I tuned in up a little bit more, right? That's one thing. And I'm sorry, am I the only one that thinks as a player, what LeBron James is continuing to be able to do is like, I can't even say a once in a generation. Like, it's incredible at his age and the level that he is still performing at. He is able to do the thing. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying that is just the man has the extra fairy dust from the good Lord. Y'all, come on. You got to give props to the man.
Okay, but here's my see, I knew somebody was gonna say something about this.
Well,
and
first of all, this is your team, right? The LA Lakers. So
yeah, but
you going against LeBron now?
No. What I'm a fan of the sport first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a fan of the sport first. I'm not even a LeBron fan. Don't get it twisted. I'm happy that he's on my team, but I mean, I'm not like, okay, I got to get some LeBron James 13s or 12s, or I need every jersey of every team that he's ever played for.
Mm-hmm.
I am sick and tired of this GOAT debate between him and Jordan.
Me too.
And I think that might be where my vitriol is coming from, because Yeah, he's 39 years old and he's playing at a level that we've never seen before, but he's also playing in an era that we've never seen before, where you can't even touch the player without them getting a foul. Or this thing that they call load management, where players will miss 2 seasons worth of games over their career. Or better yet, the technology with being able to take care of your body is way better than it is now. So while I'm not trying to shun what he is doing,
Mhm.
And then on top of that, there's no way, and The Rock means no way. There's no way. There's no way that had LeBron James played in the era where you can actually hand check and all those things, and like what the Pistons did to Chicago. I'm not saying LeBron wouldn't have survived, but it would have been a lot harder on his body than what he's doing right now. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, received. I'll receive that. Yeah.
Speaking of wrestling, Monday Night Raw is here in town tonight too.
Wrestling? Who said something about wrestling?
You said The Rock.
Oh, I thought I used a movie.
You leaned back and said no.
Yeah. Mickey says King. I'm sorry, Sapphire. Mickey says King James is a big crybaby, and Ricky says I agree, Rachel. Not about the fix, but an in-season tournament is a stupid idea, a bit of a money grab for the NBA.
But they did. I think it was all about the ratings because they needed to take some viewers from the NFL, and they actually did that.
Yeah, and then real quick, I wanted to get your thoughts. Like Karis LeVert, I mean, this injury seems like it's more significant than what the chatter has been, and especially coming into the back-to-backers with the Celtics. Do you think he'll be ready for that game? And then how much PT is Donovan going to get because of those upcoming games?
I think he's going to get it all.
I got to bounce, ladies. I got a baseball show to get prepared for in 3 minutes. It's been dope once again. I appreciate y'all. Cleveland, keep your head up, man. And Rachel, stop being such a homer all the time. All right, I'm out.
Sapphire, bye, Willie. Sapphire. So there was some baseball news that took place the other day, and the largest professional sports contract of all time went to Shohei Ohtani of Major League Baseball. He signed with the Dodgers. Was it 750 or 700 million?
Girl, I stopped counting at $6.99. Yeah, something like that. That's what I can't do it. I can't do it. I can barely count to 10, right? Oh my goodness. But you know what? Like, I wonder what that money looks like in like 20 years ago. Is it just because it's hyperinflated because of current market conditions? Like, what would it have equated to like 20 years ago? That's how I try to get that right in my mind. But yeah, it was $680 million. And you know what, though? I think he's in the perfect market. He's going to draw all the viewership. They're going to be able to sell mad merchandise. Like, this is as much a part of the game as executing on the field. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is $70 million a year is just incredible. Obviously, he has a dual talent in which he can throw as well. So that makes him, a hot commodity, but he also is a great batter. I mean, he's like a 5-tool player along with the ability to pitch. So I like Shohei Ohtani. I think he'll be great in the Los Angeles market. I'm kind of glad he didn't go to the Yankees because the Yankees I just have everybody. But wish him the best of luck with being with the Dodgers, and we'll see what the Dodgers do. Well, Sapphire, for you, for me, I want to thank everybody for listening to Her in the Huddle. But thank you so much. And you've been listening to Her in the Huddle, and we are out of here.